Hi everybody, my name is Elizabeth Hoffman, and for my Community in Words and Pictures project, I will be focusing on the Hazleton area. I do not live in the Hazleton area right now. I live in a city next to it called Drums, but I do work in Hazleton. I went to school here, and I spent a lot of time here. Hazleton is a city in Luzerne County, actually the second largest city in Luzerne County. So I'm going to get into the demographic descriptions of Hazleton, starting with the population. The estimated population in Hazleton is 24,703, and that is according to the most recent U.S. Census estimate. There is quite a diverse races in Hazleton, showing that 48% being white, 38% being Hispanic or Latino, the rest broken down between Black or African American, being two or more races, and Asian. There has been a big increase in the Hispanic and Latino population in the past 10 years. When focusing on age distribution, the median age between men and women is 34.7. There's 18,548 adults in Hazleton. And this chart shows that the ages in Hazleton are split pretty evenly, the genders between male and female. Gender differences in Hazleton are split pretty evenly, with 50.78% female, 49.22 male. When focusing on the crime in Hazleton, I feel like this is what most people really think of when they hear of Hazleton. We are in the news a lot for drug overdoses, shootings, gang violence, things like that. This chart does show that there has been a decrease in some of the crime. I could not find any charts showing that the crime rate has gone up since 2018, but I did find some facts that said in 2018, crime rate in Hazleton was 184, which was 1.5 times smaller than the U.S. average. It was higher than in 63.9% of the U.S. cities. In 2018, Hazleton crime rate rose by 6% compared to 2017. This pie chart shows the breakdown of the different kinds of crimes in Hazleton, with theft being the most at 34.4%. Some of the other types of crime in Hazleton: auto theft, robberies, burglaries, rapes, assaults, arson. I also did find that as of today's date, there is 16 registered sex offenders living in Hazleton. I could not find any charts or direct information showing the exact numbers for opioid-related either arrests or overdoses in Hazleton, but so this is a big issue going on in Pennsylvania overall, and it's a big one in Hazleton. You're constantly hearing on the news of people overdosing from heroin, getting Narcan, drug busts, people coming in from New York and New Jersey, getting caught in Hazleton, being drug bust. So you can even see from this chart just from 2015 to 2016 how much of an increase there was in total use of opioids and the overdoses. When focusing on education in Hazleton, this chart shows that at least 42% of individuals in Hazleton do at least have a high school degree. I feel, this is just a personal thought, that a lot of people do not extend their schooling to college just because there are so many trades and factories in Hazleton that they are easily able to get a decent or good paying job right out of high school sometimes. A lot of family businesses in Hazleton as well that people start working at young and are able to take over right out of school. When focusing on poverty in Hazleton, this chart shows that the race most likely to be in poverty in Hazleton is Asian, least likely is white. The poverty rate among those that work full-time for the past 12 months is 6.99%. Among those working part-time, it was 23.4%, and those that did not work, the poverty rate is 30.44%. This chart shows some of the most common industries in Hazleton, healthcare being the highest, followed by construction, educational services, and food services. This chart shows that we do have a very large Catholic religion in Hazleton, or some people that don't identify their religion. Focusing on formal institutions in Hazleton, we do have a very large industrial park with many, many factories. Some of those factories include our Amazon factory, we have an American Eagle factory, we have a Hershey plant, all things like that. So there are many factories in our area. We have Lehigh Valley Hazleton Hospital that has just been newly remodeled. We have Penn State Hazleton, where I attended my first 2 years of college here. We have Lackawanna College, Luzerne County Community College, Hazleton Public Library, and the Greater Hazleton Philharmonic, which is a place where they put on a lot of plays and shows. This is a really great place for people who focus on the arts and stuff to really show their work there. Informal institutions, we have many church groups around town, sports leagues, we have baseball leagues, football, softball, soccer, cheerleading, bands, the Greater Hazleton Youth Soccer Association, which is a big part of our community. Many church bazaars over the summer, and we do have our big Italian festival, which falls in the summer. It's a 3-day event with all the local Italian food places partake in it, live music, tricky trays, just a lot, just really emphasizing on the Italian culture that is a big part here in Hazleton. This slide shows a map of Hazleton. Now I'm going to get into the key elements of a good community, starting with the safety. So in the article, it says safety focuses on 3 different areas: uncontrollable natural events, unnecessary traffic and other community hazards, and crime. Natural events would be dramatic weather, so that's hurricanes, tornadoes, things like that. Thankfully, our weather here is pretty calm. We do have, we get bad winters, snow, and ice, things like that. The schools are really good with closing when there is an extreme amount of snow or excessive heat or cold. Our homeless shelters really step up too in the winter and stay open 24/7 to help those who are homeless. Traffic and other community hazards. The town is a bit busy with a lot of traffic and litter due to the big population. And again, the crime is a big component of Hazleton right now. There's a lot of violence, drugs, gangs, shootings, robberies. So that really is a big thing that affects us at this time. Goods and services. Hazleton does have many, many goods and services to help everybody and anybody in need. Catholic Social Services is actually the agency that I work for. We provide mental health treatment, we have a homeless shelter, a food pantry, counseling, maternal health and pregnancy. We accept donations, give out donations. We try to help everybody in need in any way possible. We work closely with the Sophia Cox Foundation, which is a foundation that helps people who are struggling to pay their bills. If you've recently lost somebody, they will help pay for funeral expenses and things like that. We have a Salvation Army, a Goodwill, many local food pantries all over town. And Brandon's Forever Home is an agency that helps individuals who have been in foster care almost their whole life, and help them get through, again, giving them a mentor, giving them help with food, clothing, things like that. When it comes to relationships that bind citizens together, I feel like this is something that Hazleton does lack a lot of. So the pictures I provided here are of Hazleton, West Hazleton, Drums, and Valley. These are the main towns that are around Hazleton. People kind of stick to their groups, to the people they know, stick to their towns, not really having a lot of close relationships. Values and goals. So values that provide a close bond for people. We do have some of that in town, and that's because of the churches, the festivals, and things like that. But I feel the drugs, the crimes, the litter, gang violence, and politics really make it hard for people to focus on goals and values in Hazleton. This picture I put for whole person principle I keep to myself and mind my own business. That is the attitude people have in Hazleton. A lot of people are not warm in Hazleton. There's not a lot of manners. People don't hold the door for you. Not saying that there aren't people that do that, but you see a lot of lack of. Unfortunately, people really just focus on themselves and their families, and that's all. When it comes to predicting, change in technology have altered many of the predictable dimensions of our communities. I feel like this is a quote that you could really relate to Hazleton. Technology is changing things in town every day. Places are closing every day. Our YMCA just closed recently, putting a lot of people out of jobs, putting a lot of people out of a place to go to the gym, out of daycare, out of swim lessons, things like that. So you can never predict what is going to happen. When focusing on a recognized place in the social structure, I feel like Hazleton does do a good job at this. People recognize the people around town, the homeless, the mentally ill, the politics, the restaurant owners, the different races, and really connect with each other on that, and are respectful when it comes to just treating people based on even if they do have a different background than you. Hazleton does have a lot of great opportunities. We do have the colleges I named. We have a wonderful Hazleton Police Department that is always looking to hire, expanding day by day. We have our Hazel Township Fire Department that is fully ran by volunteers, so there's always opportunity for people then. We have our Amazon factory, which is always hiring, giving people a lot of good opportunity there. And we are located right between Interstates 80 and 81, which is great for people who have to commute to work, to New York, to Philadelphia, to Wilkes-Barre, things like that. And then finally, the last one. This is a big one. I feel that a lot of people in Hazleton are really trying to relocate out of the city and into Sugarloaf Township, the Valley, the Drums, where I live. People want to get away from the busy city life, the crime, the violence, things like that, and move more into the rural areas like like Drums, where there's a lot of farm, a lot of gated community, and things like that. Overall, I believe that Hazleton does have the potential to be a good community, but at this time with the crime, I feel that it has a lot of work to do. It is crazy to see that a town that once was so close-knit, how it could really be torn apart by crime, violence, drugs, gangs, and things like that. We do have a lot of great resources in the community that can help with this, and there is a lot of opportunity for Hazleton. So once the crime comes to an end or lowers, I feel that we can get Hazleton back to where it used to be at one point. And these are my references. Thank you, guys. Hi, this is Liz.